Hey, guys, listen, I'm so excited right now. I can't stand it. Thank you so much for getting on the call. Welcome to our Thursday night MWR Financial Instant Payraise webinar and presentation. Folks, we've got a call for you tonight. Grab your pencil and paper while we're waiting for our guest speaker to be introduced. But grab a pencil and paper. This is something that you don't want to miss. I'm happy for you. I'm excited for you. I'm telling you, a lot of things are happening in a big way. We're moving, and we're moving fast all across this country. We're providing what people need. We're bringing the answers. We're bringing the solutions. But better than that, I'm going to bring on the call now the gentleman that helped develop this entire program. The success that you're seeing in your business right now, you can credit that to him. His wisdom, his understanding, the expertise that he brings to the table. He's been involved in financial services for over 25 years. He's a successful tax accountant. He's a successful MWR financial business owner. This guy does it right. I'm telling you, he's the best guy in front of the room when it comes to training on this program. You're going to get it firsthand tonight. So without further ado, help me welcome to the call, ladies and gentlemen, an enrolled agent for the Internal Revenue Service, professional tax accountant, Mr. Terrence Hawkins. Are you there, sir?
I'm here, Mr. Parker. Can you hear me clearly, sir?
Loud and clear, my friend.
I appreciate you, sir. I appreciate you so much. I thank you for what you do for everybody here at MWR Financial, and because you are so consistent in what you're doing, that's why your group is growing like never before, because you're consistent and you're a do-it-first leader, because you're out there now introducing me, but you're doing what we're going to be talking about right now, which is presenting this opportunity to everybody that's in this country. Family, my MWR family, thank you again, and thank you for getting on this call. Guys, I hope you have a pen and paper because we are going to go over some things that you're going to need. You're going to really need in your business, and I'm excited to be able to bring this training to you, okay? Now, those that are on the webinar, I hope that you are on the webinar. You're going to be able to see what we're going to be training on tonight. Those that are not on the webinar, okay, all you need is the one-pager. The one-pager that is in your back office underneath for marketing, and you'll see the Instant Payraise Success System. We're going to be training on the Success System this evening, all right? So here we go, guys, because we're not going to hold you long, but we're going to try to be efficient as we can to get you guys some information so that you can duplicate not like never before. So the reason that we want to go over our success system, guys, because one thing that we realize, this is one of the ways that we present this opportunity to individuals. Just one of the ways. Our system is such that after we write down our individual's name that have the W-2, and we are picking our teams there with the who has a car, who's in W-2, we are checking them off. We want the 5-star there. Once we get those, we always call them and do the phrase that pays. Well, after we do the phrase that pays, that basically individuals are now interested, in hearing a little bit more. Of course, then we're going to qualify individuals. That's proving it to them. So we want to see basically if they qualify. So we take them to our myinstantpayraise.com site, and we are asking them those 7 questions. Just 7 of the questions, guys, would basically, out of 100 and some different tax deductions, we're going to see if they qualify. And we're looking to be able to at least save somebody $120 or more a month, right? Because that covers the membership. Now, after they do that and they qualify, at that particular time, we need to present them the information. Again, there are 3 different ways to present information. We have a site for it, the makewealthreal.com/your URL that you can send somebody to, and they will see an awesome presentation, 11-minute pre-done presentation for you online, okay? You are able to take them to a local meeting. If there's a local meeting somewhere, you're able to do that as well, and then you have the leaders in front of the room that's able to present to your guests as well as answer questions for them. But we also say one of the most effective ways is a good old one-on-one kneecap to kneecap little lunch meeting by utilizing the Instant Payraise Success System one-pager. But we want to make sure that you understand how to deliver the information properly. And that's what we're going to go over today. So I'm going to go over this tonight, guys, and a lot of what I'm going to be talking about tonight is just not just reading the presentation, but really the thought process. Because if you understand the thought process, okay, and the philosophy of the one-pager and the presentation, you are going to be more successful, okay, in basically getting individuals to understand. Because it's all about the person that you are talking to truly understand the information that you are delivering. You see, communication is a two-way thing. A lot of times when we're communicating with individuals, we are telling them something, but we're not slowing up to see if they understand what we're saying. You see, just because you say one word or one paragraph or read a whole, sentence and a whole, a page, does not mean that the person really get the same thing. We see it all day long that some people say something and some people are like, oh, wait a minute, I didn't get that. I heard something else different. So we want to be clear and precise when we are delivering, okay, this one-pager. And that's why we're going to take our time. And so the first thing that I want you to understand when we are delivering this one page is take your time. Take your time. You already know the information. You're excited about it. A lot of times when individuals are excited, they talk faster anyway. I know I do, right? I talk a whole lot faster when I'm excited. So most individuals do. You already understand what's going on, so sometimes you may skip certain things, and a person would not get everything that they need so that they can make a decision. Because remember, your job is just presenting it to them and give them the information so they may make a decision for them and their family. Whether it's yes or whether it's no or whether I just need a product, it doesn't matter. You want to deliver the information, okay? So the first thing that we're doing is when you're sitting down with someone, you're going to need three pieces of information. I want you to have three pieces of information. I want you to have the Instant Payraise Success System that those see on the webinar right there. You get from the back office. I also want you to have the application. Very important. Have the application available for them, the paper application that they can sign on immediately. Okay, And then if there is a local meeting, whatever the next big event is, have the flyer for the next big event that's happening. Now, you're going to carry those three pieces of information to your meeting when somebody's ready to meet. Because after you qualify them again, you basically want to say, I'm happy that you qualify. I'm excited that you qualify. Hey, you know that you qualified, for an instant pay raise to get the instant pay raise on your very next paycheck. Okay, when can we meet? Because you have to see this. When can we meet? When can we talk? Okay, set that appointment. Those of you that are talking to other coworkers, you can meet them at lunchtime, right? Okay, you can meet them after lunch. You can meet them for breakfast. You can meet somebody on the weekend. You can meet somebody after church. Okay, you can meet individuals, guys, at any time for about 30 minutes to deliver the presentation to them. Now, when you sit down in front of them, just don't all of a sudden just start just spitting up on them, okay? Guys, this is a relationship business. It's a relationship business. When you're sitting down with someone, get to know them. Hey, how are you doing? How was your day? Tell me about your day. If you know they have kids, how was your kids? Did they if you know that the kids play sports, ask them about the last game. Those kind of things are going to be very important when you're talking to them. Because you're talking to a person that has a W-2, right? So you know that they're actually working, okay? So you're going to actually talk to them in general. Just get to know them, sit down with them, ask them how they were doing stuff. Basically what I'm saying is start off with a conversation like you normally would. Don't just start off with just drowning them, oh, it's this, because I know you're excited. We understand that you're excited. We want you to be excited. You got an instant pay raise already. You're using the services already, right? But let's get to know individuals that's joining our family as well. Once you finish that, and you're moving towards your presentation, here's what you want to start talking about, okay? Here we go. All right, so I'm introducing them to the company. Again, after you congratulating them for qualifying. I like to congratulate people for qualifying. Congratulations for qualifying for the instant pay raise. You are able to be positioned to get an instant pay raise starting your very next paycheck every single month. Okay, and if I'm talking to Gerald, I'll probably say his name a couple of times during this presentation. Okay? Then you say, let me tell you a little bit about our company and what our company does. Okay? Well, our company really have two different missions and two phases. We have a phase one and we have a phase two. We have a phase one and a phase two. Those that are watching me on the webinar or you got the one pager, you will see our mission. You will see phase one, okay, there, and you see the list of things there. You say, well, our first mission and the first phase is all about increasing the take-home pay of over 150 million hard-working W-2 employees, starting with their very next paycheck. This is our first phase. Our first phase, again, is all about you receiving an instant pay raise starting your very next paycheck and receiving that every single month. Now, you're able to qualify for that because the IRS have said that if you have the intent, if you have a business with the intent to generate a profit and actively participate, keep good records, you can turn your personal expenses into your business expenses. You have already pre-qualified with some examples of you taking your personal expenses, we only ask you 7 questions, and turning those into business expenses. And based on those answers, okay, you are able to get, and then you basically tell them the amount that they got when they did the My Instant Pay Raise. In this example, let's put $310. So you're basically able to get $310 back every single month in Instant Pay Raise. And guys, when I say the amount, I like to write the amount. If you look right here when I'm circling, if you look at here where it says phase one, how to get an Instant Pay Raise, I like to put that amount right there. Just write it on their sheet of paper. It's important that sometimes you write it in front of people because people like to see it again. They already saw it online, but we also want them to see it on the paper, on the one pager. So put $310 right there. Just write it right there. You're able to receive $310. Now, here's how MWR makes this easy for you. The first thing that we're going to do is step one. We're going to basically start your MWR financial home-based business as a qualified financial consultant with a Financial Edge membership and the intent to make a profit. So that's the first thing that we're going to do is get your business with MWR Financial. And we're going to get it with our Financial Edge membership. Let's pause for a second. At this time also, guys, you may want to have your brochure, your MWR Financial Edge brochure with you as well, okay? Sometimes you can use that brochure, sometimes you don't. But if you want to know what Financial Edge is all about, you use the brochure. See, you don't have to do a lot of explaining about everything in the package. Utilize the tools. So we're going to use the Financial Edge brochure there, okay? But when we start talking about the MWR business, at this time, I like to, at the very beginning, okay, say your business costs $228, and I write that in the spot right here in that little start on that one, okay, on that box one. All right, $228 up front, and then a total of $120 per month, okay? $80 of that is your Financial Edge membership. And I write all of that in that little spot. I write 228, and then I write the 120 a month, and then, you know, you can put $80 or $79.97 to actually be exact, okay? It's the Financial Edge, and you write it over there. You write those numbers there so they can see it, okay? You write it there so they can see it. Then you say, after you do that, this is the very important part. After you do that, you want to have to say, now, already notice that we saved you, okay, or you would save an Instant Pay Raise, $310 that you're going to get on your Instant Pay Raise, and that is more than what the business costs. You need to slow up and make sure that people understand that. This is phrase one. Make sure that they understand. That's why in utilizing the system, okay, you go step by step. It's very important in this phase one that your prospect understands that they are saving more money than the membership cost, their monthly services costs. They're already profit in business. A lot of businesses don't get profit to the third year. So in this example, they need to understand that you're saving $310 okay, in our estimate of just 7 deductions out of 100 deductions, and that is more than the startup cost of $228 and the monthly cost. And say as the monthly cost is $120 and you're saving $310, you said you are already profiting in cash flow $190. $120 for the membership, and then you got $190 that you have positive cash flow on. Now, it's important at that particular time, we said 120. If you want to say, and you get, because this is what I say, and you remember you get the financial edge with these services. That brochure, I go over the services, okay? I go over some of the services. Now, I go over the Money Max services last if I use the brochure. Why? Because step 2 is going to be all about Money Max. So let's say I've gone over the Credit Max, I've gone over the Equity Max, and I told them about the Wealth Max, okay? I'm not going in detail on those. I'm kind of just going over it, okay? Once I go over it, and then I say, and the first services that you're going to use is going to be our Money Max service, because that brings us to step 2. Because once you start the business, you're going to schedule a tax reduction consultation with Money Max for our experts to basically analyze your existing expenses and convert those eligible expenses to home-based business deduction. Then you say, because remember, this $310, notice how I keep circling that, $310 in saving was just an estimate. But now they are going to use all of the tax laws to basically see if you qualify for more. Once they identify what you currently do, and then you qualify for them, they're going to show you how to take those properly and be compliant with the IRS to make sure that you get those things. And remember, our experts are certified public accountants. They're CPAs, they're EAs, they're certified financial planners. That's going to do that for you. Very important. Very important that your prospect understand that they are not just going to have to go to the IRS site with irs.gov and read about a W-4 and stuff on their own, okay? You understand? No, our experts is going to do it for them, explain it for them. They will understand. Very important, okay? Then, part C here, they're going to adjust the W-4 exemptions at the current employer. Remember, they're working, and we do not want people to just change their W-4 without understanding what's going on. You see, individuals are going to get several different, things that they're going to give to Money Max. The Money Max is going to tell them exactly what they need. They're going to look at their last year's tax return. They're going to look at their pay stubs from previous. And then, based on what they can actually get here, they're going to adjust their W-4s for them. Okay? So they're going to do all of those things for them. Exactly. You got experts to do it for you. That's very important for them to understand it. You see, the IRS guys allows individuals to basically change their W-4 every time their financial situation changes. When your financial situation changes, the IRS says, we want you to change your W-4 forms. Now, it's always good to look at your W-4s when you get your taxes done. Why? Because if you're getting a refund, we want you to get that back, because that's the first thing that Money Max is going to work on. See, the first thing as far as the instant pay raise that they're going to look at, guys, is they're going to look at, wait a minute, when they want that last year's tax return, that's important because they're going to say, if you got a refund, did you get a refund? Because if they got a refund, guys, on line 74 of that tax return 1040, it stipulates, it says right there, the amount that you overpaid. See, the first thing in getting instant pay raise is stop overpaying the IRS. They're giving them a free loan. They're lending them money, and they're not paying them interest on that money. Just give them back what you just overpaid. No. We're not going to overpay. We're going to get that money back. Immediately that becomes it. So Money Max is going to say, wait a minute. Let me see your last year's tax return. You got a refund. Let's stop overpaying. Instant pay raise immediately there without the deductions. Then they're going to say, here's all the deductions that you qualify for. You have the kid in between ages 7 and 17. You do have a car that you're driving, okay? You're doing those things now. So now let's get additional money back with deductions so you don't have to pay the IRS anymore. They are going to do all of this here, okay? And 2. But you can explain that actually to them as far as the step 1, A, B, and C, and just they're going to end up doing it. Now, 3, you're going to move on. After they do all that and they adjust the W-4, The next thing that they're going to actually guide them to do and they have to do is important. Remember I said the IRS said that you need the intent to generate a profit, you need to actively participate, and then you need to do what? Keep good records. Because here's why this is important, guys. Because even if you are using the vehicle as an example, and you're using that vehicle for business purposes, that's good. But do you know if you do not track those and keep records of those, if you end up getting audited, and you can get audited for any reason, you can have something to mistake and something just not on the tax return actually right, okay, or it's just a draw. The computer just popped you up and you're getting audited. And if you get audited and the IRS basically asks you, to verify the numbers on your tax return of the expenses that you claim. And if you claim 10,000 miles as business expenses, and then when they say, hey, let me see that mileage log, if you do not have a mileage log that basically gives the purpose of the trip, okay, the destination itself, the date, and the mileage, they, whether you did it for business or not, can disallow the expense. So we want to make sure that everybody's compliant when they get in the instant pay raise. So we want to make sure that, hey, they're keeping good records. How do we make it easy for them? We're going to say, hey, step 3, you're going to set up and activate the TaxBot app for automatic mileage and expense tracking. Going to set up and activate the TaxBot app for auto mileage and expense tracking. We're going to make sure that, guys, the TaxBot is an excellent program that they get included with the membership, okay? And if you're listening to, this now or listen to the recordings it plays, if your TaxBot is not activated, when you get finished with the training, you need to do that. You need to put it on your phone and put it on your desktop, okay? Why? Because you cannot take those expenses if you do not have them as far as recorded and documented. So, real easy again, actually real quick, guys. They get the deduction, instant pay raise, by one, starting their business. The business is MWR Financial Home-Based Business. They can get the financial edge and have the intent to generate a profit. They're trying to make money. They do that. They then can qualify for the instant pay raises, okay? The money match is their expert on their very next call. First thing that they want to do within 24 hours, they want to schedule that consultation. They're going to do the work. They're going to talk to the client for you. They're going to analyze the expenses. They're going to convert it to business. They're going to adjust it. They're going to look at the last tax returns. They're going to make sure you're not overpaying the IRS. They're going to basically do all of that for them. Once they send it in, they're going to also guide them to what? Now here's your record-keeping system. This is your record-keeping system. Now I want you to understand what you just have in this business, just to understand. This $120 per month, you now have your CPA on retainer along with your record-keeping system. That alone is worth that. That alone is worth that. Okay? CPAs normally actually charge hundreds of dollars per hour just to talk to them. Look at the mileage tracking system, how much actually that they actually cost. Look at the expense, how much they cost. So it's worth it. But the cool part about this, phase 1, is to make sure before you go to phase 2 that they are understanding what their advantages are in the instant pay raise. Number 1, they need to understand, okay, the advantages of getting an instant pay raise is right here. So they get an instant pay raise and the national average is $300 to $600 a month. Do you understand that? Yes, I understand that. You saw me because you wrote it there, right? You saw it. Then the next one says, do you understand that this eliminates the cost of business and the membership? They understand that because they're looking at it. They see $310 is a whole lot more than $228 to start and $120 a month. Okay? Then do they understand that it provides them immediate monthly cash flow? Because if they're saving more here than what the monthly of $120 is, that's immediate what? Cash flow. Do not go to phase 2 until they understand phase 1. If you have to go back and repeat phase 1, do so. Make sure that they understand this because we want to make sure that they are getting the instant pay raise, but they're compliant when they get in it as well, and they understand that they're saving more in their taxes than the business cost. It's no extra money. It's money that they wasn't going to get anyway because that money was going to go to the IRS. So either you're going to give it to the IRS or you're going to pay part of it for your business, and take the rest of it in cash flow. Now, once they understand that, okay, once they understand that, you're able to actually move into phase 2. So once they understand after that, you say, okay, that completes phase 1. Now, after you do phase 1 and you start getting the instant pay raise, our company want to move you into phase 2. Now, phase 2, which is our second mission, okay, we're going to teach you how to increase your income. Why? Because we can only save you so much, okay? If you make $1,000, we can only save you $1,000. So phase 2 is all about to create more financially free independent business owners than any other company in history. Because then you're going to ask them, say, do you know individuals that would like to have an instant pay raise? Just like what we're doing for you. That's why it's important that they understand what you're doing for them with the instant pay raise. Because the company will pay you for referring people. Let them know that's how you get the what? Income. So then we're going to increase the income. If you know individuals, I then always say, do you know 3 individuals? Do you know 3 of your coworkers? 3 of your church members? 3 people that moms and dads of the kids on the sporting team? Do you know 3 people that got W-2s? If you know 3 individuals, okay, that basically would like to have an instant pay raise also, we want you to refer them to MWR Financial. And we have a system for you to do so because we understand that you're working for time. Some of you are working 40 hours, you work 50 hours plus, you're on salary, you're working a lot. We understand that. So we made it easy for you as well because we have a system for you to do so. The first thing that we're going to do for you, okay, is help you to identify those individuals. And then you're going to learn what we call the phrase that pays. And in the phrase that pays, you're going to actually take that person's name. Let's say the person's name is James. James, if I could show you how to get an instant pay raise every month, starting with your very next paycheck, would you want to know more? And pause. Let James answer that question. And wait until James answers that question. James didn't understand you clearly? Say it again. Make sure that they understand. An instant pay raise, James. Every month, starting with your very next paycheck. Would you want to know how? You ain't got to talk to your boss. You ain't got to talk to the manager. You ain't got to talk to nobody else. You ain't got to go and study something to try to get a promotion. You ain't got to go and fill out another application for a new position in another department. You don't have to do any of that. But what you're currently doing right there, James, okay, if there was a way for you to get an instant pay raise every month, starting with your very next paycheck, would you want to know more? James, more likely, if James smart, he's going to say yes. If James say no, guys, do not convince James. If James say no to that, move on. There's 150 million people out there. Move on, okay? But if James says yes, then number 2, I like to say, well, James, let me see if you qualify first because we're going to prove it to you. Let me see if you qualify, James. Let's take that. James said yes. Well, let me see if you qualify. Then you're going to say, James, okay, go to myinstantpayraise.com. Now, if you're talking to James, it's more important that you can do it in front of James. You got your cell phone. You can put it up on your cell phone. So people got iPads. People got computers, okay? It's done better if you're using the cell phone, if you're keying this in. So we're going to train on that method, right? If you're keying this in. Now, if you're keying this in, you said, great. Let me see if you qualify for a second. I just got 7 questions to ask you, okay? 7 questions to ask you real quick. And then you go there, and then you ask them the 7 questions. You ask them how many miles that they actually drive. We have another training specifically on filling out, or we'll have one filling out the actual myinstantpayraise.com, okay, there. But you fill that out. And when you fill that out, you look at that bottom and you see what it's calculated. And if it's $120 or more, James, you just qualified. James, you just qualified. James is happy that James just qualified, right? So we're going to tell him, say, James, you just qualified, and then you present the information to them exactly like I'm presenting it to you right now. And if you can't present it to them like I'm presenting it to you right now, we have a site that you can send them to, and they can send, see a presentation that's already done for them as well, and then we follow up. This is how we increase your income, James. And we're going to help you to identify those 3 individuals. James, the advantage of this is you're going to have unlimited income potential. You're going to be able to take charge of your schedule because you can do it part-time anytime you want. And then you'll be able to financially secure you and your family is going to be secure. Now, how do we do it, James? Because here's why. Because it's really more than that. Now, I like to say this, guys. I say, James, those 3 individuals, do you think that you can possibly, refer them, even if I gave you 12 months too? Even if I gave you 12 months, you can do it like that. Now, everybody I say, even if I gave you 12 months too, guys, guess what? Everybody said, I can do a whole lot more than 12 months. But it's very key that basically you undersell this thing, guys. You don't have to just tell them, oh, you can do it next week, you can do it 1 month. They would do it. They would do that because they want to do it faster. They can do it. That's fine. I would rather for them to tell you that they can do it in a month. They can do it in a week. Then you tell them, hey, do it in a month. Do it in a week. That would come. But even if it's a year, James, can you do it? James needs to know that James can do it. Why? Because we're going to show James how that James can basically be financially independent in 7 years. Here we go. Because what we're going to do then is James said, yes, I can do that within a year. Great. So guess what? We have something called the power of 3. Let me show you how much money you can make with this, James. We got something called the power of 3. Here's what you're going to do. Okay, if you help 3 people, James, to get an instant pay raise and taught them to do the same, and let's say you took the whole year to find those 3. And guys, I like to put a 1 right beside there. You helped 3. I put a 1 right there. Okay, so they can see it. If you do that within, a whole 12 months, James, the whole year. Let's look over here with the schedule here to see how much that you're making. This is your daily guarantee. This is guaranteed. Now, we get paid 10 different ways, James, but we're just going to show you one. Okay? This is your daily guarantee right here. Team of 3 individuals, you're guaranteed $5 a day for $150 a month. You're making a profit. Now, I like to put James into perspective here, okay? Because sometimes people say $150, oh, that's only $150 a month. I like to put things into percent. I said, James, this is $150 a month. I said, James, if you had $3,000 and put it into a bank account in the month of January, how much would that be in the month of December? What, $3,001? Let's get into perspective right now. Where else are you putting your money in? We need to put it in. We can talk about $150 a month. That's pretty good now, then, isn't it? Yes, it is. It can cover some expense, right? Yeah. It can cover what? Your phone? It can cover some gas, whatever. Let him relate himself to that 150. This is profit. Because remember that the taxes is covering the membership. And if you have to go back to that for James, do so. Okay? Take your time in doing it. Then you say, James, okay, now that's great. So you do that. James, 3 of those individuals that you refer, they may know 3 other individuals. So we're going to teach them to do the same thing. Get an instant pay raise and refer 3 people at least, right? Instant pay raise, refer 3. Instant pay raise, refer 3, because 3 plus the outside customer gives you guaranteed income. So we're just helping people to qualify for guaranteed income, guys. Instant pay raise, get you guaranteed income. So next thing, we say, well, yeah, they refer 3. Then we say, James, so when they refer 3 to get an instant pay raise and then they refer 3 people, how long do they have to do so? James is going to say 12 months or a year. I said, yeah, exactly. Or do it faster, right? So then I'm going to put a 2 beside here, says who helped 3. I'm going to put a 2 there because, James, for you, that's year what? 2. Then I said, what you make in year 2? That's total 12 people then on your team. $20 a day guaranteed, $600 a month guaranteed. Since $600 a month guaranteed is $7,200 a year. James, that's not a raise anymore. That's a promotion. That's not a raise. That's a promotion now, guys. A team of 12, $7,200 a year is a promotion for individuals because you have to get new positions to be promoted sometimes to make $7,200 a year in your same job. And that's just a team of 12 people. You understand that? Then you said, James, this happens with the power 3 all the way down. And I just put a 1, a 2. So I already had the 1 and 2 there. I put a 3, 4, 5, 6, and I put a 7 there. So after 7 years of everybody just getting guaranteed income, everybody's focusing on just having 3 people and 1 outside customer. 3 people, 1 outside customer. I said, how many people is on the team there? 3,279, and I circled it. Then I said, well, what does the guarantee chart say when you say that? Oh, that's over 3,084, isn't it? Because at 3,084, the guarantee is $1,000 a day, $30,000 a month. So James, can you retire off of that? And that's a 7-year plan. But James, you said you can do that a whole lot faster than 12 months. And you know your friends can do that a whole lot more than 12 months. James, do you see a plan now? James will say yes. And then I said, guess what? The company even makes it better. Do you know that the company has a 30-day guarantee? And I go back to the top. They have a 30-day guarantee. James, you know the company said if you start this business with the intent to generate a profit and you follow their plan of action and go through their steps, if you do not save more money than this membership costs you, they're going to give you a 100% refund. James, what do you have to lose? What do you have to lose? At that particular time, guys, I get what? The application. I get the application out. And I asked James, are you ready to actually start getting your instant pay raise? Remember, James is ready to start getting instant pay raise. We fill the application out. If James is not ready to get the instant pay raise, he may have a couple more questions. And if you're new at that time, if they do have a couple more questions, at that time, you can three-way your upline expert in, okay? You can three-way your upline expert in. Or you can say, James, great question. You know what? I do not know that question right now because I just started myself. But at this meeting, you pop out your next paper, which is what? Is your paper for the next meeting. It's for the next local meeting. If you don't have a local meeting, okay, there and stuff like that, or whenever it actually is, you definitely want to three-way. But if you have a local meeting, you want to have that flyer. You want to have that flyer, okay? Okay? Now, if you don't have a local meeting there and you need a flyer for that, use the next regional. I believe it's St. Louis is actually coming up, but use the next regional flyer there, okay? You have the next regional flyer there. You want to say, James, we want to get you signed up so that you can bring your family, your friends to the next meeting or to the next meeting to training. I like to call the next boot camps. Come to the next boot camp so you can get training on that. But we want to get you started now on your instant pay raise because the day you have it's important, guys, the day you have a business is the day your savings start. People save an average of $10 to $20 per day. So if a person goes 20 days without starting the business, at minimum 20 days at $10 saving, that's $200 there. Well, if they're saving $20 a day in 10 days, they lost their savings more than what it's going to cost them to get a membership. They just lost it. So they want to start when? Now. They want to start now. Guys, that is the Instant Pay Raise Success System. Go to your back office, print it out, and go over it. The more you use it to talk to your prospects, the better you get. But the key is to slow down and go phrase by phrase. Phrase 1, phrase 2. Make sure that you basically use the phases, okay, and slow up, and they will understand what MWR Financial, the home of the Instant Pay Raise, is all about. And then they will understand that we have one of the best opportunities that's out there on today. With that being said, guys, I want to thank each and every one of you for being on the training on this evening. My name is Terrence Hawkins. I'll see you